Okay, this is a fun video. Let's do something fun. This is very fun. Here's MSNBC interviewing a group of voters, union workers actually, and the reporter asks about January 6th, and here's what the voters say.
Talk to me about your level of interest in the criminal charges and so forth.
February 6th?
January 6th.
So I remember that day. I know he was the standing president. I'm not familiar with the charges that are being brought against him for that. I'm not following that charge or I know there's multiple court cases going on. I'm just not familiar with it.
I mean, that doesn't sound like it's going to be a factor in deciding who to vote for.
No.
Okay, so when I say January 6th, what do you think?
Oh, I just remember seeing it on the news, like all the riots and stuff. Don't really know what it was about or what happened, though.
How did it make you feel when you saw it?
I don't know. I don't really feel any way about it. People showed their emotion, I guess. Probably in the wrong way, but it happened.
That's great. You know what a dagger that is to that reporter for MSNBC? You know how personally insulting that is? Especially when the guy's like, February 6th, was it? No, January 6th. It's January 6th. I mean, it's not knowing the date of January 6th for that reporter. It's like if you don't know your anniversary. It's like how your wife reacts. If you say, "Hey, honey, I got big plans for our anniversary on July 2nd." You mean June 2nd? It's that kind of thing. That's the way they react. Because for them, this is the most important date on the calendar. This is everything. And it's it's a time of mourning for them, but it's also celebratory also. So it's everything wrapped into one. January 6th is. Like January 6th to the left, it's Christmas and 9/11. It's the greatest, the lowest low and the greatest high. It's the celebration and mourning. It's their whole life. It's like the whole. For a reporter, especially a DC-based reporter, January 6th is their whole existence now. It really defines everything about them. It's the most important thing that's ever happened in the world. They really, truly believe that. We make a joke about it, but that's actually what they think. And in their own lives, I'm sure they still talk about it. You know, I've never talked to any of these people in my private life. I never would want to. But my God, can you imagine? Like, in that woman, in her private life, she probably still talks about January 6th. They probably do the whole thing people do with 9/11 where they say, you remember where you were? You remember where you were when you heard? And with 9/11, if you were at least old enough to remember it, then everybody has this story, right? And certainly for the 10 years after 9/11, it was a constant conversation of, do you remember where you were? For these people, they do that with January 6th. Whereas for all the rest of us, if somebody said, do you remember where you were on January 6th when you heard they were storming the Capitol? If somebody asked me that, I would say, I don't know. I don't really. It's probably at work, I guess. I don't know. I think it was on Twitter and I saw it, and I don't remember exactly. So this is the world that they live in, but the average voter just doesn't care that much about it. So this is a very sort of niche thing that the media is entirely obsessed with. And most voters are not going to vote in November with January 6th in mind. They don't even know what date. What was the date of January 6th? They're not even sure. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.